Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Fizik Vento Argo R1 Light bike saddle. Fizik's new R1 Light saddle range is a lightweight and high-performance bike saddle designed with traditional methods instead of 3D printing. There are 3 saddles in the new range, the Alliante, Argo, and Antares, but for this review we have the Argo, which is the Vento Argo R1 Light. Packaging-wise, you can see just standard Fizik box, basic branding on the outside, and then the version you ordered printed here. Go ahead and open this up, we'll go over the specs. Retail price on this is $230. It has a short nose profile with 265mm length, and it's available in 2 different widths, 140 and 150. It has carbon fiber rails, and then carbon reinforced nylon shell. The big feature with this one though is the EVA padding, so it's raw exposed padding instead of a cover. And you have the big center cutout for additional comfort. As far as what comes with it, you can see you just have the cardboard backing for the saddle itself, and then their little instruction safety manual. Now let's take a look at the weight of the saddle. We have the 150mm version, so it's going to be a little bit wider and heavier. And this comes in at 158 grams. The Fizik Vento Argo R1 Light shares the same tapered design as the standard Vento Argo saddles, but adds the R1 Light flavor. So to kind of decompose the name, the Vento is their road racing series. Argo refers to the shape, and you can see it has this very distinctive shape with this wider section about 75% back, big center cutout, and very tapered front nose. This is a short nose saddle, so you can see it's very short from the front of the rail to the front of the saddle, instead of more traditional, which was longer. It gives you more versatility, so definitely designed for road racing when you want to go full aero, or you have the taller geometry on the saddle and more aggressive position. And it has more stability because you can see the back actually angles upward, so you won't slide off the saddle, it'll keep you centered on there. And with this 150mm version, you can see nice and wide for additional stability on your seat bones, so I definitely recommend getting measured. Having a narrow saddle will really affect your performance and comfort. With this R1 Light though, they add a couple new features, so carbon fiber rails, carbon infused base, and then you get this raw EVA foam. There is no cover on here, and the combination of this gives you a claimed 17% reduction in weight compared to the standard saddles. The exterior of the saddle is pretty simple, it's all black, Fizik white logos, and then Argo kind of ghosted on the front of the nose. Underneath again you have Fizik, and very clean design with this carbon fused base. There are no additional options with this besides the 140 or 150mm width. The coolest part about the saddle though really is the exterior. So this is just raw foam, there is no cover, and you can see it almost has this brushed aluminum texture to it, so it has this very distinctive design to it. And because there's no cover, you can see the edge between the base and the top is perfect, so nice and clean. No fabric, no tucked fabric, no staples. So it looks really nice. It is a very dense foam, so unlike a 3D printed one, which would have holes in here, this is all one piece, and you can see very dense foam on here. A little bit softer on the front, but not very forgiving, so definitely more for road racing. You can see it also has a distinctive shape with this front channel, so a little indentation here that goes into the big front channel with a little exposed piece of the saddle base. Sharp creases here that go up and then back. It also has this little tapered edge on the back side as well that gives it a unique look. The rails on here are carbon fiber. It's a 2.5-inch adjustment range, and you can see it has the markings on there to help position it. Nice and flat in the center section, and then it tucks in onto the base with this little cover, hiding the front attachment point, and then this U-shaped section covering up the rear. You don't have any exposed carbon fiber on the base, but you can see the rails do have a little bit of carbon fiber texture to them. There are no attachments here for accessories, just a really clean profile, and again, with no additional cover, it's a nice sharp crease. They also added this little glossy edge that gives a little bit more character from the side. Now let's take a look at the saddle on our bike. You can see with the raw foam, it really has a cool texture to it. It looks great on the bike. It's very understated design with the carbon rails and the all black design with the Fizik logo. Looks great, and again with the Argo shape, it's a very comfortable one with that little raised top. So it's a very stable design that also looks good on the bike. You can also easily add a saddlebag or anything underneath it, as the rails have plenty of room and horizontal space so you can find the right fit. On the bike, we found that the saddle would be really comfortable. The padding is a little bit firm, but the overall shape is just like the 3D printed version, very stable. And with the short nose, you can easily adjust your position. So whether you're climbing, doing a really long ride, or doing a sprint, I think it works everywhere. But again, the padding is very firm, so initially it takes a little bit of time to get used to, unlike some other saddles which feel great on the first ride. This one takes a few more rides to get used to. It might not be a perfect fit for everyone, as it is firmer. But otherwise, the saddle shape and the design elements make it really lightweight, and nice alternative 3D printed ones, which are a little bit harder to clean. Now let's do a little comparison between the saddle and other saddles on the market. We've actually previously reviewed the 3D printed version of the Fizik Vento. This is the Fizik Vento Argo 00. So it's their adaptive series, and you can see same shape with the Argo saddle, 150 millimeters on both, so the wider variation. But the big difference is the 3D printed one just looks really cool. And it's very soft in some sections, so you can see you have this lattice structure that's actually layered on. And you can see it actually has a center cutout, but it's covered, while the R1 Light is exposed. This one's also softer, so you can see it's thicker and softer in certain regions, so the back section is nice and soft. Middle one is very soft, and then a little firmer in other ones, while the R1 Light feels a lot firmer throughout. This one is also a full carbon base and carbon rails, but very expensive. This is a $400 saddle, but you can see it does pay off in terms of cleanliness, so the bottom is very clean. So you have this nice Mobius strip with the rails, so they're actually just bonded together, no additional covers like this. So it looks very sleek. You don't have a exposed carbon weave, but it's full carbon versus carbon infused. So it just looks a little bit sleeker, and you can see the edges with the 3D printed ones also nice and sharp, just like you do with the EVA foam one. So definitely a different cost, but you get the similar performance as far as the feel. There's other saddles on the market like the Aeolus RSL. This is a full carbon one as well. You can see exposed carbon weave. This is a 150 millimeter version, and you can see it's a little bit shorter, but they're all short nose these days. Full center cutout goes all the way back, and this is 3D printed as well. You also have this lattice structure, but you can see it's a lot more firm and denser. So instead of having these big openings, this one just has smaller ones. Again, the nice thing with full carbon is the base and the rails have a really clean attachment point. So you don't have, again, these covers that add a little just visual clutter to them, while these are really clean. And being 3D printed, again, nice sharp edge, just like the R1 Light. So definitely a lot of saddles to choose from, but again, this one is expensive. So 3D printed, the price is still high. So the R1 Light gives you the benefits of the lightweight without the higher cost. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the saddle. What we like about it is you have a lightweight construction, the carbon rails, the carbon infused base, and that raw EVA foam really make it lightweight compared to other saddles we reviewed and give it a cool texture. It's also a really stable and versatile saddle shape. Really like the Argo for climbing or high speed and even long rides. It's very comfortable overall. The main negative of the saddle is very firm padding, so it might not work with all cyclists and not as soft as the 3D printed version or other saddles we've reviewed. Taking everything into account would give the Argo R1 Light a 9.1 out of 10. It's a nice lightweight saddle with a unique design. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.